All right, here's our last video on logarithms. In this video, I'm preparing you to be able to work the Khan Academy activity, operations with logarithms. Okay? Now, in order for you to do these, you need to know two logarithm properties. Here's the first one. If I have the log base b of x and I add it to the log base b of y, that is the exact same thing. So all this on the left is exactly the same as if I were just to do the log base b of x times y. Okay, so let me let you look at it real quick. If I have the log with the same base, see how these both have the same base, and an addition sign in the middle. So the log base b of this plus the log base b of that is the same thing as if I just do a single log, but I multiply them. Okay? Now let's look at a second property. That's number one. Let's look at our second property. Our second property says the log base b of x minus the log base b of y is the same as. So all this on the left is the same as the log base b of x divided by y. Okay? So let's look at what we said there. If both these logs have the same base, if I'm doing the log of one thing and subtracting it from the log of another and the bases are the same, that's the same thing as the log with that same base, but you can take what was here and put it on top of a fraction and what's here and put it on bottom and just have a single logarithm. And so let's apply it in this problem right here. I've got log. Now let me show you this first. You notice how they don't put a base? Okay, in logarithms, if they don't provide a base, so if they say log of 2, for example, and they don't write a base right here, the understood base is 10. Okay, the understood base is 10. So here, they're saying the log base 10 of 3 plus the log base 10 of 4 equals. Now, let's rewrite this, okay? Now, let's look at our property right here. I have 2 logs being added. Well, that's the same as 1 log multiplied. So that's the same as log base 10 of 12 because 3 times 4 equals 12. Okay, so let's look at example 2. All right, on this one, I've got log base 10 of 20 minus log base 10 of 4. Okay, and I'm subtracting, which tells me when I combine these, I'll be dividing. So this is going to be log base 10 of 20 divided by 4, which is the same thing as just log base 10. And since it's base 10, I'm not going to write it, of 5. And so this is my answer right here. All right, on this one, I have log base 10 of 2 plus log base 10 of 2. And that's the same thing as, since I'm adding, I can multiply them. Log base 10 of 2 times 2, which is log base 10 of 4. Okay, so why don't you pause this and see if you can do this one, and then push play and see if you got it right. So I've got log base 10 of 25 minus the log base 10 of 5. Since I'm subtracting, I can divide. So I'll have log base 10 of 25 divided by 5, which is the same as log base 10 of 5. Notice that since it's log base 10, I don't write the 10. If it were any other base, I would write it. Okay, so this problem brings me to a property that I hadn't showed you yet. Okay, if I have a log with a base b of z, okay, that's the same thing as the log base b of z to the a power. So notice all I did was take the leading coefficient, a, and I moved it to the exponent of z. See, here it is, the exponent. So let's apply that property in this problem. Well, my leading coefficient is 4, so I can just take it and move it as the exponent. So that's the same thing as the log base 10. Notice they didn't write a base, so I know it's 10 of 4. And then I'm going to take the leading coefficient and put it as the exponent to the 4th. And so now what I need to go do is I need to figure out what 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 is. So give me a second to type it in my calculator. You would be smart to pause the video and go type it in your calculator for practice. And so what I got is 256. And so all this is the same as the log base 10 of 256. Okay, we only have 2 left. Each time we have a problem, you'd be smart to pause it, work it, and then push play to see if you got it right. So now here we have 2 times the log of 4. All right, and I told you earlier that that's the same thing as log of 4, and then I can take the leading coefficient 2 and make it the exponent of the log number. And so that's going to be log of, and 4 squared is 16. So this is exactly the same form as that. Okay, so here's our last problem. Here I have 3 times the log of 4.5, and I want to know what that's the same as. Not what it equals, but what it's the same as. And so I can take the leading coefficient right here and make it the exponent. Okay, so that's the same as log. Now you notice they didn't write a base, so what's the base understood to be? It's understood to be 10, but we don't write it when it's 10. So I've got the log of 4.5 all to the 3rd power. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to go type in my calculator 4.5 and raise it to the 3rd. Remember, anytime you raise something to an exponent, you need to put it in parentheses. And so that's what I got for 4.5 to the 3rd was 91.125. And so this is the same as log base 10 of 91.125. So all we're doing is converting forms. We're saying this is the same form as that. I also want to reinforce that anytime you type a number in the calculator that you're raising to an exponent, you should always put it in parentheses. So you can see right here I took 4.5 and I raised it to the 3rd power, and that's where I got 91.125, which I put right here.